It has been so much fun watching Jaxson Dart and this Ole Miss offense, not only the past 3 weeks, but even the last couple years as well, too. It's been so much fun as a fan watching this offense. Of course, all the other Ole Miss fans love watching this offense, but also several people across the country also love watching Jaxson Dart and this Ole Miss offense as well, too. And you go through many of the categories right now. Jaxson Dart, he's first in passing yards. This Ole Miss offense is first in the country in first downs, first in passing offense, first in total offense, second in scoring offense, points per game, and also Jaxson Dart is second right now in completion percentage. But actually right now, Jaxson Dart is not the favorite to win the Heisman. He's actually in second place. So we're going to talk more about it here in a couple minutes. But first of all, let's give a quick word from our sponsor. Today's video is sponsored by Go Sports. Show your team colors with the all-new lawn chair, a premium, high-quality camping and tailgate chair built to last. Whether you're at the game, the beach, or the campground, WAV has you covered. Watching Jaxson Dart and this Ole Miss offense the last couple weeks has been so much fun to watch. You know, as an Ole Miss fan, I've enjoyed it so much. Of course, you other Ole Miss fans are loving it too. And just people across the country are also paying attention and noticing what Jaxson Dart and this Ole Miss offense has done the last couple weeks. Now, so far here in 3 games, Jaxson Dart is already 73 for 88 passing, which is a 83 completion percentage, which is just kind of crazy just to even think about. He also has 8 passing touchdowns, 1 interception, 18 carries for 54 yards. He also has 3 rushing touchdowns as well, too. So 8 passing touchdowns, 3 rushing touchdowns. So that is 11 total touchdowns on the season already in 3 games. Also, he has already thrown for over 1,000 yards already. Jaxson Dart has already thrown for 1,172 yards on the season. And think about this for a moment. So once again, Ole Miss has played 3 games so far this year. We played Furman week 1, Middle Tennessee State week 2, and then we played Wake Forest this past weekend. Against Furman, Dart only played the first 2 quarters. After halftime, we never saw him again. Against Middle Tennessee State, he almost played 3-4 quarters. He came out with like 2 minutes left in the third. It might have been 4 minutes left in the third. But anyway, almost played 3-4 quarters against Middle Tennessee State. And then this past weekend, he did play all 4 quarters against Wake Forest. So look at it this way. So far, Ole Miss has played 3 games this year. Of course, you have 4 quarters per game. So far, Ole Miss has played 12 quarters of football this year. Once again, Dart played 2 against Furman. He played basically 3 against Middle Tennessee State. And then played all 4 quarters this past weekend. Jaxson Dart has done all of this so far in 9 quarters this year. 9 quarters. That is just crazy stats already. And yes, look, I understand the competition has been easy so far. Of course, the harder competition will be coming up here in a couple of weeks or a couple months. But you do have to admit, Jaxson Dart is off to an incredible start. Now, all of us Ole Miss fans knew this was going to be a special season. We were all expecting big things from Dart this year. But so far, in my opinion, other Ole Miss fans may disagree, may have a different thought here than me. If you do, that's okay. But in my opinion, he has done better than what I thought he would do so far in the first 3 games. I already had a good feeling his stats would be, pretty good after the first couple games. But I think his stats are a little better than what I was kind of thinking. That's just my opinion. But got a couple stats I want to go through right quick. And all of these, we were either first or second in the country. Jaxson Dart is first in the country in passing yards. And yeah, once again, He's only played 9 quarters of football so far in 3 weeks. But in 9 quarters, he is first in the country in passing yards. This Ole Miss offense is also first in the country in total first downs. Passing yards per game, we are also first in the country as well too. Total yards per game, guess what? Ole Miss is also first in the country as well too. Now, points per game, we are second in the country. And then you move on to completion percentage. Jaxson Dart, second in the country. I just went through 6 different stats there. And all these are, huge categories, or these are the type of stats everybody, what's up and just kind of curious, who's the top guys. But being first or second in each of these categories so far, I mean, the numbers speak for themselves. That's impressive, to be honest with you. Jaxson Dart is all to an incredible start. And now let's just be honest. Of course, the completion percentage, it is going to drop. I can guarantee you, I can promise you, after the Ed Bowl this year, he's not still going to be throwing over 80%. It will drop down some. Let's just be honest. When the harder teams and the harder competition comes, yeah, some of these stats will drop off. Let's just be honest. But yeah, so far here in 3 games, he is all to an incredible start. And of course, when you have other weapons around you, yes, it does help big time. Of course, Ole Miss's best wide receiver, Tre Harris, who will be a future NFL player here next year. I know Ole Miss fans are kind of thinking he'll do pretty good things in the pros one day. But Tre Harris, one of the best receivers, not only in the SEC, but also in the country. He's going to be a high draft pick there in April. But also, he's already off to a good start as well, too. I mean, he already has 400 yards on the season. 400, maybe just past 400 yards already. He's off to an incredible start. Of course, our running back, Henry Parrish Jr., if you're just looking at just rushing yards or running backs, he's up there pretty high. He's up there almost, I think he's top 10, top 15, I believe. I think he's in that area somewhere. But anyway, Parrish Jr., the running back at Ole Miss, off to an incredible start. Of course, you can mention some other players. Juice Wells doing pretty good. Caden Lee has a good start. So, I mean, Ole Miss has weapons, all around Jaxson Dart. Receivers, running backs. Ole Miss has weapons and skilled players everywhere. And, of course, when you got good talent around Jaxson Dart, they can also make him look pretty good as well, too. I mean, just even think about it this past weekend. I'm sure you Ole Miss fans saw that one-handed catch by Juice Wells. That was a pretty nice catch. That throw, was overthrown a tiny bit. Juice Wells had to reach out. Most receivers in the country cannot make that play. Most receivers would have dropped the ball or, would have been unable to catch it. But also, when you got good receivers like, Watkins, Tre Harris, Juice Wells, there's a bunch of those 50-50 type of balls. There's a bunch of them, those receivers are going to catch the ball. And then there's a possibility they could, break some tackles and then gain some extra yards. So, my point is, of course, you got other talent around you. They're going to make you look better. But the question is, can Jaxson Dart keep it up all year? Once again, some of these stats will drop down. For example, the completion percentage, it won't be 83% all year. I can guarantee it. This one drop down some. There's a possibility Ole Miss may not be first in passing yards or first downs or total offense or, passing yards per game. There's probably a good possibility Ole Miss will not finish first in all these categories by the end of the season. But Ole Miss will be pretty high on all these lists. I can almost guarantee it. But once again, he is all to an incredible season. And hoping Jaxson Dart can keep it up this year. Ole Miss has never had a Heisman winner before. Ole Miss has had a couple guys come pretty close. Of course, a couple names you can name off, for example. Of course, you know, Eli Manning came pretty close but never won it. Of course, his dad Archie Manning came close but never won it. You could even mention, you know, Deuce McAllister had a chance, but he never could win it. And I know some other guys you can name off as well too who finished in the top 5 or top 10, but Ole Miss has never had a guy who won the Heisman. So it would be nice to see somebody win the Heisman this year at Ole Miss. I hope it does happen with Jaxson Dart. But you know what's more important than the Heisman is, of course, being national champions. And of course, I'm sure some of you Ole Miss fans saw that video a couple days ago. You know, Jaxson Dart made the comment, you know, I got a natty in the back of my mind when asked about the Heisman Trophy. And that's a comment that I love, and that's a comment other Ole Miss fans love to hear as well, too, that, you know, he's thinking more about being national champions instead of winning the Heisman. But if Ole Miss can be national champions this year, that would be a dream come true. If Dart can win the Heisman this year, would also be a dream come true as well, too. But that's kind of all I have for the video. I know it's just kind of a couple thoughts, couple opinions, but that's pretty much all I got, to be honest with you. So, yeah, see you guys in this video. Have a good one. And, of course, hotty toddy.